right. Let me try to make this shorter again. I'm really tired, so I'm kind of starting to ramble, but I really want to finish these. Setting the record straight. Steve Prince here. Who I really am. um, and there's not a lot of sunshine out there, but still, it's nice to look at. Anyway, I'll try to stay focused here. All right, so people might be wondering why did I stop going to church? Do I still believe in God? Yeah, I still am convinced that there's like a supreme, benevolent, loving creator God, sure, and that He sent a savior, to um, to help us, overcome our sin and death or whatever, right? Um, and I do consider that to be the Jesus that's in the New Testament. Um, but like, here's the thing, I don't want to be your preacher, and I don't, I don't like how so many Christian churches are being weaponized and basically turned into like a a social engineering business model. I don't like that. I don't believe God intended that. I don't believe Jesus wanted that. And so I'm just kind of I'm tired of phony people approaching me, like saying that they're Christian, and then supporting the terrible things that have been done to me and my daughters, and being manipulative, and it's just like, that's really gross, and um so just because someone says they're a Christian doesn't mean that they know God, or that they love me, or that they love you, or in and I don't need people. Look, if anybody has a reason to not believe in God, or not believe in church, or just hate church, like, it would definitely be me, because all kinds of people have done terrible things to me and my daughters in the name of their church, or their Bible, or their God, or whatever. So, you know, um, but but I don't believe that I can blame God for the bad things that people do, and because I do believe in free will as well, and so I don't believe that God forces people to convert, and I don't believe that God tells people to do bad things to each other. I don't believe that, and so I don't do that with people. I don't want to make people convert. I just, what I would want, of course, would be for people to have their own personal experience with what the kind of, like, what we would refer to as divine communion, where this where the Spirit of Christ makes Himself known to them in a personal way, and it's a very rejuvenating and beautiful, profound experience that gives them a new sense of hope and a new self perspective, and that's a good thing, and of course, I want people to love. I want them to receive love, to give love, to reciprocate love, to experience and express love. I believe God created us for that, and that's why we have, like, the marriage relationship, and the parent-child relationship, and the friendship relationship, because um, all of these things are ways that we can love more deeply and profoundly, and enjoy what God created for us. So, you know, but I can't be your preacher, or your savior, or any of that. That there hasn't been like a burning bush thing where an angel came to me and told me this is what you got to do. Like, that's not, you know. So people need to just, like, mellow out. All right, but I do believe that there is such thing as right and wrong, good and evil, and God created us with human dignity and free will. So there's change, there's cause and effect, so of course, yeah, there were times when I really chewed out some people because they were doing things that were bad, that were wrong, that were causing harm. Um, but I don't think that I can control God, and they're not God. The government is not God, and the church is not God, and the technology AI thingies are not God. Like none of these things are going to give us the full meaning of our existence and the salvation of our souls. So I just don't like it when systems become hyper controlling and dehumanizing. And so, like, if people want to be authentic with me and ask their sincere questions and listen respectfully to my sincere answers, that's fine. But I don't have all the answers, and you know I don't believe in asceticism. I don't believe that, like, minimalism and asceticism and all that is like the path to enlightenment and monkhood or anything like that. Along with those that's garbage where people misrepresented me as like some sort of socialist. I don't believe in anything that's going to take away my autonomy and individuality, and look, I believe in a God of abundance and delights. I believe God is a generous being, a delightful being, and a joyful being. And I don't believe that you can just like starve someone into holiness. It's absurd. Now, if that's your path and you want to do that, I guess you can do that, but that's not what I want for me. That doesn't help me feel close to God. I feel closer to God when life is prosperous and when I have wholesome relationships. And you know um, I don't believe in the whole, like, like sex is dirty kind of God either. Like, I believe God, you know, or nature is evil or whatever. Like, God created nature and our bodies and man and woman and put them together in a beautiful garden, called it good. So, you know, I don't have a problem with any of that. Like, that's all good and beautiful, and that's what I want for my life, and and that is God's will for my life. So I don't listen to these twisted, perverse churches that try to be like, they try to control my options and call it the work of God, and keep me in poverty or celibacy and call it the work of God. Like, these people are demented and they're false preachers, they're liars, and they don't love me and they don't know God, you know, and so so anyway, so where am I? I believe that God kept me alive, though. I do. I believe God sustained my life. I believe God helped me to heal from like the substance abuse addictions when I was younger. And it's been a long time, a long time. Like, I've had a lot of people offer me stuff, and I'm just like, nah, I don't need it. And I believe it's God that taught me how to love, and also taught me how to maintain my boundaries and be firm when people are being abusive. And I believe that God is just. I don't believe in some wimpy, like, oh, I'm going to forgive everything, and forgiveness means you have to roll over and let people kick you to death. I don't believe in that garbage. You know. So yeah. So anyway, I believe in a loving, just, holy, supreme Creator. I believe we're His children. I believe that God is delightful and abundant and generous and just, and I believe that God gave us relationships to experience and express love, and I believe in free will, and I understand everybody's on their own path. They're searching for meaning. They're searching for truth. They're searching for happiness. Well, look, some people are not, but most of us are, I think. And so, as long as people are being authentic and respectful with me, they're not being belligerent or phony, then I'm happy to talk about that, all that stuff. I think it's all interesting. I put a lot of time into try to understanding other religious perspectives and philosophical perspectives. It's all very interesting to me. But anyway, I want to leave it at that. See, the point was to make that shorter. So I hope I'm not forgetting anything. And if I am forgetting something, whatever. I'm hungry. I'm tired. If you want to know more, you just have to meet me. I can't. This is just getting old. This stupid isolation, and yeah. You probably won't be seeing me at church though anymore. Like I'm not interested in churches where I'm not allowed to have a band or a wife or a lawyer or like just like be a normal citizen. Like yeah. So anyway, and I don't agree with churches that it'll be like, oh yeah, this all this misery was ordained of God for your life. That's like saying it was God's will for Cain to kill Abel. Like it's just not true. It's false teaching. It's false. You know, and these people that tried to pretend I was their hand selected Job and they had permission from God to torment me, or I was their hand selected Joseph, and so they had the right to sell me to the modern day Pharaoh, and I had to jump through a bunch of hoops to please them, and all that. I don't believe in those churches. Those are false churches. They're false. Those people are not honoring God. They're mocking the Bible is what they're doing, and you know they're just hurting people, and they're on a power trip. You know, they're on some sort of twisted power trip, and I don't believe the church was made for that. You know, I don't believe God gave us the church for that. So anyway, yeah, I just want to probably live my faith in my own personal life with my, you know, and I'm not interested in controlling other people's religious beliefs as long as you know as long as they don't infringe upon mine, you know, because there's a reason why our America believes in religious liberty, but we also believe in self-defense. So you know, I'm just saying, you know. Anyway, yeah, that's good. I'm tired. If you want to know more, you just have to meet me. Really, honestly, that's it.